Eurasia, and we are honored to be joined by our guest today. You're welcome.
Hello guys, my name is Khomenko. I'm the CEO of Sidus Heroes, and it is a pleasure for me to be here with you.
Probably just tell us what you do.
So we're a team of 200 people. We're a gamifying and publishing company. We've been developing games for quite a long time, and we got into Web 2.5 industry recently, about 1.5 years ago, and started to develop a comprehensive ecosystem of games that are connected to each other via the same lore book, and brings a real excitement to the gaming community around the world, because the games we launch are quite innovative, and they bring new gaming mechanics into the gaming industry in general. So we're excited to be in this industry.
Amazing, amazing. So, what does the gaming market landscape look like right now, and what can we expect this year?
So there was a turbulence time last year for all of the companies in the blockchain space, and I believe that it was a good time for many projects to build and dedicate the time to constantly build instead of doing marketing and promotions and stuff. So the smart companies who spend the time wisely and money as well, they've been building, and now it's time for companies to get into the market and spread the message, show what they've been building. Give it to people to test, even if it's in an alpha version or MVP, just to get that feedback from the community around the world and see what they say about your product. I definitely think this year will be an important year for many companies, especially in the gaming industry, because it's time for companies to really make a difference in terms of what we are trying to do in the blockchain space. Are we trying to just keep going with the same phenomenon as to play to earn and just concentrate on that, or are we planning to create an industry with the technological innovation that provides fun and excitement process to the gamers around the world? And I believe it will be a test for many different companies. Whoever is going to survive is going to become strong, and those companies who will just stay in the past and concentrate on the play to earn mechanic will get behind. So it will be a test year for many of us, but I'm looking forward to it, because obviously the industry is improving. We are getting regulated by the regulators around the world, which is a great thing, because finally we're getting acknowledged by those big institutions who've been ignoring us for quite a long time. It just feels like we're moving into the right direction, even despite volatility and a lot of problems and issues that we've seen with FTX and Terra Luna and all of these banking industry stuff. I think we're going into the right direction.
Amazing, amazing to hear. So, there's a lot of crossovers potentials for gaming in the Web3 sector. What does the future look like?
If I got your question correctly, the future for Web3 gaming in general, it's going to look bright but very complex, because the main obstacle and challenge for Web3 gaming is to teach regular players how to take an advantage of the blockchain technology and really enjoy that process. It's not an easy process for gamers. If you play PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo, the biggest question for you is what is a MetaMask? Why do I need MetaMask? Or why do I need to use Trust Wallet or a whole bunch of other technological instruments in the blockchain space? So it's hard. It's not an easy process to teach these people how to use these technologies and what's the reason for these technologies to exist. But I think it's an educational process, and the Web3 industry has to be all about education in general, because a lot of people still don't understand why do we need blockchain in the gaming industry? Why, I just want to play Hogwarts Legacy on PlayStation. I don't really care about blockchain, right? Why do I need blockchain for Hogwarts, right? The answer is simple. Why? If you want to have transparency with your assets, and your time is the most precious asset you can possibly have, right? If it's you or anyone else in this room spend a lot of time playing games, the last thing that I want is get nothing in exchange for my time, right? If I spend 6 months of my time playing a game and my wife comes to me and say, listen, Dan, what you've done, you've done nothing in 6 months, you've just been playing games. If I tell her, well, I just did it for fun, she'll be like, well, go and get a job.
Yeah, right.
But if she comes to me and say, listen, why did you play so many games in the last 6 months? And I'll be like, listen, I actually made $20,000 by playing these games. And I've sold some skins and I've sold some properties and I've made a lot of money. Let's go and get some Gucci bag for you. That's a different story.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned about education. What strategy are you planning to use to educate people?
There has to be a smooth transition, the right term to use, from Web 2 into the Web 3. And we call it, it's a very popular term now, it's a Web 2.5 industry. It's the intermediary industry that kind of provides the same interface for gamers like you use on the daily basis for games from the App Store, from Google Play or PlayStation and Nintendo, it doesn't matter, PC. Just the regular interface. But when you start to play, you realize, hey, this is actually not just a Web 2 game. This is actually the place where I can trade my skins. Like I buy a skin for my AK-47 in Counter-Strike, for example, and I can actually take it out and bring it to another marketplace and place the bid, or like make an offer, place the selling button for this particular skin and expect the customer to come from somewhere around the world and actually buy this skin from me for a ridiculous amount of money. And some skins are being sold for tens and thousands of dollars, like even hundreds and thousands of dollars. So that creates an intrigue, a curiosity, we call it, because for the regular player, he needs to realize that besides the fun aspect, they have also the financial aspect involved. And I don't know the person who will tell me, I don't want to get money for free. Yeah. If I tell you actually go and play, you earn something from this game, and your time and dedication and some skills will pay off. You'll be like, okay, well, I will give it a try, at least. And in a week, let's say you earn something unique, a shield or a sword, you go and sell it for $300. That's a pretty good paycheck in a way that you can go and spend in the restaurants or go and spend it in the cinema and stuff. So, it's great, and you have to educate people about it. That listen, your time is the most precious asset you can use in your entire life. You can't get your yesterday or a week ago. It's simple. If you play, you have to get something out of it, because usually what happens if you play World of Warcraft, you get nothing in exchange. Your time is just going to nowhere, and developers get everything. Developers sell the store items, they sell everything, they take an advantage of it. In reality, it has to be completely opposite. The player plays and has to get something out of it. That's why the transparency has to be in the right place. And it's education. YouTube videos, AMA sessions, Twitter spaces, materials, and many more. Yeah.
Great. So, are there any plans to expand or develop Sidus Heroes from a business standpoint in the short or long term in the future?
We're definitely expanding. I mean, we started with only 25 people. Now we're a 200 people team. We're Australian-based, Dubai-based, and Thai-based company. We are expanding. I mean, we are a publishing company. It's not just a single game. We're building up to 40 plus games within the single lore book, and we need a lot of people. Realistically, what we're looking for is around 2,500 people in the company eventually. We have to obviously get there, and to get there we have to be operationally profitable, so our games have to generate the revenue that we can reinvest back into the team and hire more people. But I think we're on the right track. We're executing the right process in place, and the business model is actually working. We're showing some fantastic retention rates and metrics in our games, and I definitely think there is a good potential for us to be consistently profitable as a company, and that will definitely give us that source of expansion to.
Amazing. So how are you feeling about the current climate surrounding NFTs, and what changes would you suggest are appropriate to improve them?
What was the first part of the question? Sorry.
How are you feeling about the current climate surrounding NFTs? Yes.
NFTs are speculative assets, right? We saw the success of the Yuga Labs. Gordon and his business partner did extremely well when they've managed to create this collection. I actually remember I was participating in the clubhouse, and Gordon was talking to the rest of the audience in the clubhouse, convincing people to buy these monkeys and apes for 0.07 or 0.06 ETH, and everyone just had a laugh at him. He was like, "Why would you pay for that monkey like that much money? That's not. It's a picture. Why would I pay so much money?" Now who's laughing now, right? This is a multi-billion-dollar company that's spending hundreds of millions of dollars making products. So there is a good use case, a successful use case of using these NFTs. But sometimes we see that some people are taking advantage of this term, and they're just scamming people out. They're stealing money by creating some fake collections that have no use cases, and it ends up in the catastrophe for many people losing money. And I believe that NFTs is a great thing to use, but it shouldn't be toxic term to use, because people see it as a kind of like a gray area now, and it's not in the favor of that industry at this stage. So we are definitely we all have to work hard to improve the situation when it comes to NFT climate, and just try to basically explain to people that NFTs are digital assets. NFTs are digital collectibles. It's not just an NFT as an NFT, it's a digital collectible. Like, you've been collecting Pokemon cards, you've been collecting sport wear from sportsmen and stuff. This is the same, except it's a digital copy, right? And there is nothing wrong to collect digital collectibles, because there is a value behind them, right? Yes. We've seen many cases.
Great. So what do you think can be done to avoid a lot of fraud?
Well, obviously, you as a participant in this industry you have to do a lot of research. The research is the key. You can't just go and join the Telegram channel or Twitter, subscribe to someone's Twitter and just tell, hey, listen, I found the gem hunter who will tell me what to buy and what not to buy. It usually ends up very badly, because if you don't do your own research, obviously you will end up losing money. Because your money is your money, right? You can't just rely on someone else's opinion. I mean, there are a lot of people who are telling you what to do, how to do, what to buy, what not to buy in the YouTube, in a whole bunch of other places. But come on, these people are not controlling your assets. You are in control of your assets and the capital. And you have to be very wise as to how you spend it. So it's the same as if you're going to go and buy a car in the dealership, right? Or Louis Vuitton bag, and someone's going to bring you like a bag full of holes and stuff, and you'll be like, oh, that's a very, very fashionable bag. And you pay $10,000 for it, and you open it, just it's not a real one, it's a fake, right? So it's obviously up to you to do the research. But I strongly suggest people to just really pay attention to the team, pay attention to the development progress, pay attention to the roadmap, really analyze the activity in the social networks of this particular project that you join, the Discord, Twitter, Telegram, and see how people react to it, see the feedbacks from people, and just based on that information, obviously make a decision.
And how badly were you affected by the collapse of FTX, and what changes did this prompt subsequent to this news?
I mean, the FTX created a lot of sentimental troubles for everyone. It's a reputable risk for all of our projects, not just our projects. The entire industry got affected by the collapse of this institution, right? So I think it had a huge effect on the trust towards the entire industry, which is not a good thing. But at the same time, I believe it was a great thing, because obviously, things are getting better now. We're getting rid of these bubbles, we call them, right? Bubbles that are, backed by nothing, just, the ambitions and some fake management that doesn't even know how to do the money management in their companies. So it's good that we are getting rid of these players from this market right now, and we're moving into the right direction when there is a clear regulation coming in. Our company has not been affected too much. I mean, Alameda Research was one of our investors in the initial IDO, but it wasn't the leading investor or a strategic investor. It was just one of the investors. And I mean, things will get better, I'm sure.
And what do you think could be done for such issues to reduce?
Well, obviously, people have to do a proper structure of the companies. They can't just hang out together as startups and then run the biggest financial institution in the world. Like, they have to understand the principles and the fundamentals of running a financial organizations, right? What we saw now, even with the banking industry in Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, etc., it's just a poor management decisions, right? These guys are making money out of very speculative tools, and eventually they got suffered, and they won't get reimbursed by the government now. The same thing was happening with Terra Luna. Their stable coin was backed by their own currency, right? It wasn't backed by the real dollar sitting in the bank account or gold or anything like that. It was just backed by the Luna. Same with the FTX. They were using people's money without authorization. I mean, how is that legal, right? I don't even understand. Like, you can't take someone's money. I can't take your money out of your bank account without your authorization. That's nonsense. So, I would just have to get rid of the scammers. Otherwise, the whole industry will be losing trust, and there will be no future really, unless we build something great.
Amazing. So as we conclude, how has the experience been during the whole expo?
Expo is organized really well. I think we definitely need more gaming projects in here, because people are going around in circles and they're trying to do something, but there's just not too much to I mean, gaming projects provide that experience when you can take a seat, play in the computer, like Farcane, I think, the project, so you can just enjoy the process. But at the same time, I mean, it was organized really well, and I want to say huge thanks to all the organizers. It was a great event to be at. And looking forward to the next ones.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.